And welcome back to Hoopsville again here at NYU in New York City. I'm Dave McHugh, and I'm now joined by WashU head coach Mark Edwards after a tough loss to the Violets. And it's not like you guys didn't play good defense. They just shot the lights out of the building.
Yeah, they played really well, and those things happen. As long as you're in coaching, you're going to have to be able to handle both sides of the coin. You got to be able to cut down the nets, and then you got to put them back up and work on them. So tonight we had our lessons, and by a team that really shot and was really motivated to win.
How tough was it when they come out to an 11-0 start? You guys go 4 or 5 trips down the floor, just can't hit a shot. How tough was that to get the team kind of regrouped around just the start of the game?
Well, that's where you have to have poise and you have to have experience. And we've had poise and we have some experienced players, but at the same time, it's a new scenario for us. And once we get into conference like this and go on the road, there's a lot of kids. We had 4 freshmen with us tonight, and I'm not making excuses, but I'm saying coming back from that becomes very difficult.
You guys have a lot of nice pieces. You've got the inside presence. You've got the nice guard play, especially the ability to drive the lane. But NYU seemed to find something on defense. What was it that you guys struggled with, do you think, besides shooting 38%, that you struggled with on the offensive side?
I don't think we passed the ball well. I think that NYU was in the passing lanes, and we didn't cut hard and play with the energy that we have been playing on offense, the same as defense. And we've been shooting the ball pretty well from outside. I'm not sure what our percentage at 3 is, but I'll guarantee you it's not 30-some%. I think it was like 44 or 45% we're shooting from 3, and it just happens. And you got to give the team that you're playing against the credit, because they're the ones that brought the energy, that created the defense, that executed their offense, that got the ball inside. I think the one stat that did surprise me is that we out-rebounded them.
Yeah. Well, and of course, the outside shooting, I think he hit 2 threes for 11% on the night, was tough. How much did Harris, for them, change things? He comes in as a transfer. He's now a cutting guard who can also shoot from outside. Changes the dynamic of the Violence offense a little bit. How much did that affect you guys, or did you think you were prepared for him coming in?
Well, we didn't. All we saw was on tape. That's one thing in this conference. You don't really get a feel for the team because it's all on tape. Everybody's so far away. I think that he is a great dimension for them. He's another piece of their puzzle. They are a different team, and they're playing up to that level, and they're utilizing him. And so, they're going to be a handful for everybody. But you look at our conference this year, and there's no easy wins. This thing isn't over yet.
You talked about some of the composure of the team, the 2 technical fouls. Forgetting on who it was, unfortunately. But how much did that was maybe the example of that? Just the frustrations from the team, and they couldn't wrap it around.
Yeah, that's part of the lessons that you learn in basketball. They're young kids, and they're growing up too. Just like some coaches, I'm a little beyond that, I hope. Anyway, the point is they're still learning lessons, and I hope he did learn a lesson. He's a great kid. He's one of our leaders. He's a captain. Potential All-American, and you can't let the emotions of the situation dictate your behavior. That's the lesson of sports. That's what we're working on, and he'll be fine.
Tough loss against Chicago. You guys rebound and get wins over Emory and Rochester at home. Hit the road and you take a tough loss with NYU. How do you get the guys focused now on the travel up to Boston, weather permitting, to play Brandeis and get at least come out of the weekend with a 1-1?
Well, that's, if you want to play championship basketball, that's the way it happens. I mean, you take a look at anywhere, the Division Ones. I mean, Duke goes in and loses 2 in a row, and they got to come back and play a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basketball. That's what you're playing it for. You love the challenge. I mean, if you don't like the challenges, if you want everything to be easy, then you shouldn't even be coaching or playing. And our players understand that. I'll guarantee you that. And now what will happen Sunday, I don't know. But I do know this, is that we're not going to let this game affect our focus and our concentration for Sunday.
Saw a great story about you out of the local news station in St. Louis about the fact you've pretty much been involved in about 1,000 games in Division III, playing and coaching. You've certainly seen it all. You've been involved. How much has being involved in basketball, how much has being involved in Division III meant to you?
Well, I think that everybody finds their niche in life, and I enjoy competition, but more importantly, I enjoy teaching people how to compete. This is a great learning experience for us tonight, and we're not going to pass that up. We're not going to sit and point fingers. We're not going to find excuses. It's a learning experience. I think that as a coach over these years that I've been fortunate enough to be mentored by people like George Raveling and Bob Greenwood and Chuck Smith, people that I've worked with. I really feel that the big thing is you have to learn to handle competition. If you don't, get out of coaching. If you can't take games like this tonight, then you can't take cutting down nets. And so I think that, to me, this is what it's all about.
You almost have to go through the tough stuff to appreciate the good stuff.
Well, to understand what the good stuff is.
Yeah.
The biggest lesson we learned when we won the national championship is how fleeting it is, how hard. All it takes is one bad bounce, or one night like tonight where the team comes out and they want it more than you do. There's just lots of different variables, and I think it's like playing poker. Guys that get addicted to it. I think coaches get addicted to the competition and how to be able to move the pieces and how to coordinate it and put the game together.
Let me put you on the spot a little bit. It seems to be a lot of parity this year. You've seen a lot of good teams in the Central region, and now, of course, out here in the East. There doesn't seem to be a top tier. It just seems like a lot of really good teams, at least from my point of view. Is that what you're seeing from yours and also seeing other games?
Absolutely. In the Midwest, you see, Augustana is a very good team, and Wesleyan goes up there at Augie and beats them, and Wheaton gets drilled the other night, but they have it. We get drilled tonight. We go out to the West Coast, and I see Chapman play, and there's a team you guys ought to watch. They're a very good team. He's done a tremendous job. I mean, they're as good as anybody I've seen this year, and those are the teams in the East. We're just now getting into the conference, but Emory can get after it. Look at Case and Carnegie, and I mean this whole parity that you talk about in Division III is really what it's coming down to is not teams playing down, it's other teams playing up. And I think that it's a testimony to colleges looking at sport and saying, sport does have a role in our school. It is a lab, it is a great learning experience, and I think that what you're seeing are schools that used to kind of poo-poo sports are saying, let's get some athletes in here, let's get some vitality on the campus. This is a competitive world. We're trying to be competitive in the educational field, and sports is a great avenue to go.
This is going to be the last time you see this floor.
That's right.
Presumably, unless some crazy thing happens with NCAA tournament play or something else, but or some plans change at the last minute. What's it like? What are your memories of playing on this floor, considering this is the last time you'll see it, and probably not the best way to see the last time you see it?
This game wasn't, but I tell you what, we've had some great games here, and Joe Nessie and myself have a tremendous amount of respect. Our two teams have played a lot of great games over the years. We've won some at the buzzer in here.
Yeah.
I can think of 4 or 5 right off it. We've had some we've lost at the buzzer in here, and then we've had not too many like this one.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time on Hoopsville. Do me a favor, I always give you the last word. Any final thoughts you want to share with those who might be watching?
Division III basketball, like I've been saying all along, is just as much excitement and emotion as any level of basketball. Enjoy it, promote it, embrace it. And I want to thank you guys for all that you do to help do that. Before D3 Hoops came along in Hoopsville, we didn't have a voice. The voice were in the communities where people did appreciate it. But you're our national voice, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you, especially after a tough loss, for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. Mark Edwards from Wash U.